Hi, my name is Steve Sullivan, Professor of Anatomy and Physiology and digital author for McGraw-Hill Higher Education. I've been a Connect user, author, and consultant since about 2009. Connect and the Learnsmart tools from McGraw-Hill have worked incredibly well for my students and for me. But I recognize that it can be a lot of work to sift through all this great content and make your assignments. So for the latest edition of this text, I've taken all the digital content and built a ready-to-go course just the way I have been using Connect for all these years. We call this a library course, and we can share it with you so you don't have to do all the grunt work it takes to get started with all these proven learning tools. Everything I've done in Connect is customizable, so all you have to do is tailor it to whatever you cover and set the due dates. In fact, as I go through how this course works in this video, I'll show you just how to do that for the different assignments I've made. So basically, you can hit the ground running with these A&P 1 and 2 courses. In this video, I'll use the A&P 1 course as our demo, but keep in mind that the A&P 2 course works exactly the same way. I made A&P 1 up to and including the endocrine system, and I started A&P 2 with the endocrine system, and moving on from there. Some of us teach endocrine in A&P 1, and some of us teach it in A&P 2. So you can delete that chapter from whichever course you don't need it. Well, that pretty much sums up what we're doing here. So let's take a look at one of these library courses. After the library course has been copied to you by myself or a McGraw-Hill representative, you'll see it appear the next time you log in. Just click on it and get started. The first thing you'll notice is that the groups are named by chapter. You can change this to weeks or units of study or topics. It's totally up to you and completely customizable. You simply roll your cursor over the paper stack here, then over the word group, and choose Edit. Now you can edit any group name or description. If you don't cover the chapters in numerical order, you can change the order of the groups into whichever order fits your needs. At the top of the group, you'll see one labeled Learnsmart Prep. I use this group to assign modules from McGraw-Hill's adaptive prerequisite preparation program called Learnsmart Prep. This tool helps prepare students for taking A&P by assessing the student's proficiency in a particular subject area and offering learning resources to help them brush up on that area. It will continue to do this until the student demonstrates proficiency in the subject you've assigned. There are several subjects to choose from, and I've even built a placement test so that early on, you can identify the students who need to use Learnsmart Prep to be ready for A&P. I've pre-assigned some of the most common subjects for you, but all you have to do is delete the ones you don't want, or just click on the I to unassign them. This way your students won't see it, but you can save it for another time if you wish. This applies to any assignment in this course. Again, the groups are arranged by chapter and each have at least 2 assignments, a reading assignment in SmartBook and a homework assignment. Some of the chapters are pretty long and have a lot of content. As instructors, most of us break these chapters up into a few class meetings. So in some cases, I've made 2 groups for one chapter, each with its own specific assignments for either the first or second half of the chapter. The SmartBook assignments are the adaptive readings from the text. These assigned readings include questions and learning resources to make sure the students not only complete the readings, but demonstrate an understanding of the baseline material covered. The axial skeleton consists of the skull, the vertebral column, which is also known as the spine, and the ribs and sternum, which together comprise the thoracic cage. This helps the students prepare for class. In these assignments, my default was to assign all sections of the chapter to make sure no one is missing anything. But as we all know, no one covers everything in the book. So if you want a more specific, granular reading assignment, all you have to do is go into the assignments and uncheck the sections you don't cover. And if there's just a part of the section you don't cover, simply click on that section and then you can choose more specifically which topics you don't cover. I've adjusted the depth and coverage for each of the SmartBook assignments so that the average student will take about an hour to complete the question probes. If you deselect any sections or topics, that will go down. What I do is decide which sections I want to assign, then adjust the time last. I also made each assignment worth 10 points, which is arbitrary and completely adjustable. And they're also all due on December 31st, 2018. I'll show you how to adjust the due dates later. The other assignment you'll see for each chapter is what I call a homework assignment. This is what I have due after we finished covering a chapter. This is exam prep. I firmly believe we should be giving our students the opportunity to practice the skills we want them to demonstrate on an exam. That's what these are for. The homework assignments are made from the question banks. These banks have questions covering every single learning outcome in the text. They consist of multiple choice, true, false, check all that apply, labeling, matching, classification, composition, and lots of other question types. Now, there are way too many questions in these banks to give them all to students. Plus, since this is homework, you don't want every student getting the same questions. So I've arranged each assignment using question pools. These pools are organized by topic and question type. For example, if there are 4 labeling questions for pelvis illustrations, each student will randomly be given 2 of those. If there are 6 classification questions asking students to compare the upper and lower limbs, you can randomly give each student 3. And you can change any of these if you wish. I made each assignment worth 100 points. Interactive questions like labeling and classification have more for students to do, so they're worth more than multiple choice or true-false questions. Since these are unproctored homework assignments, I don't make them a big part of my grade. They're mostly practice, and I want the students actively researching these questions. So as far as policies go, I give them 3 attempts for each one. For each attempt, they only have to redo the questions for which they didn't get full credit previously. Until the due date, they only see their total scores and whether or not they received full credit on each question. They are allowed to utilize resources like links to the ebook, hints, and asking the professor, but they can only check their answers once per question. This is the combination I found that works best for me, but it's all about personal preference and goals, so you can adjust any of these policies to the way you like it. And you only have to do it once, and if you want, the policies will update for any assignment the students haven't yet begun. Finally, once you decide which assignments you want to have and you tailor them to the way you do your class, you're going to want to change the due dates. What I typically do is I set up a calendar so I know what my due dates are going to be throughout the entire semester. And then all you have to do is open up the groups, check the boxes to include all the assignments, and then roll over that paper stack, choosing Manage Dates. Once you do this, you'll choose Individual, and you'll see a list of all of your assignments. Now you can just go in and adjust your due dates. You can do this all at once for the entire semester and be done with it right in the beginning. It's as simple as that. So this is the library course that I've constructed for you so that you can get going with Connect. So now you have a really nice head start with Connect for A&P. Take it from me, I've been teaching A&P for over 15 years, face-to-face, online, hybrid, you name it. SmartBook and Connect have given my students the best learning tools I've seen. My fail and withdraw rate is less than 1/3 of the national average. That's despite the fact that 85% of my students' grades are from comprehensive proctored exams. These tools were all built from learning science data, and they have helped my students learn better than anything I have seen before. So once again, if you don't already have the library course, contact your McGraw-Hill Learning representative today. He or she will get you what you need right away. I'm Steve Sullivan. Have a great semester and good luck with your new course.